5 minutes or less. Citizenship Census Question. Welcome to Wimmer's Wilderness. I'm your host, George Wimmer. I have 30 years of volunteer work, community organizing, and 16 years in local government, 12 of those years as mayor. Wimmer's Wilderness is an informed look at politics, community, government, environment, and education from a local perspective. So a lot has been made of the Trump administration's fight to add a very controversial question to the 2020 census. First, I want to start by saying the citizenship question was struck down by the Supreme Court and won't be on those census forms. The damage, however, it already may have been done if the intent, as many have said, was to suppress immigrant and minority participation in the census. This leads to undercounts in those areas that have higher immigrant populations. So let's start with why do we do a census and what it is. For this, we turn to Article 1, Section 2 of the Constitution. I'll read the part of the section that pertains to the census. Representatives and direct taxes shall be apportioned among the several states which may be included within this union, according to their respective numbers, which shall be determined by adding to the whole number of free persons, including those bound to service for a term of years, and excluding Indians not taxed, 3/5 of all other persons. Then the 14th Amendment, which was passed after the Civil War, altered this language to read, representatives shall be apportioned among the several states according to their respective numbers, counting the whole number of persons in each state, excluding Indians not taxed. There's a lot to unpack here. First, it started as the count of all free persons or indentured servants and 3/5 of all others. This 3/5 meant for every 5 slaves, the population count would increase by 3. Then after the Civil War, that was changed to allow former slaves to be counted as whole persons. The original 3/5 in the Constitution, if it hadn't been included, many of those southern states would have had very few representatives. We still have traces of the former 3/5 in the census, in my opinion. Prisoners are counted in the census, and in a number of areas, prison populations add extra representation and federal funds, even though those prisoners are not allowed to vote. In both versions, the concept of counting everyone is deeply embedded, regardless of citizenship or ability to vote, or if a person is even free. This tradition has been respected and reinforced in each census. Now the citizenship question. What's the big deal? Knowing who is a citizen when you count. Well, first, the job of the census is to count everyone, and anything that would hinder that is counterproductive. If people are afraid to answer census questions, then they will not get an accurate count and the constitutional requirement will be violated. There has been differing types of citizenship questions on the census, and I'll read a few of these and when they occurred, just to give you an idea of its tradition. In 1820, heads of households were asked how many foreign-born people not naturalized were in their homes. 1890 to 1930, it changed to census workers asking about the naturalization status of foreign-born men aged 21 or older. 1970, it switched to, is this person naturalized? And that was asked of foreign people in 1 out of 20 households. In 2020, President Trump wanted to ask, is this person a citizen of the United States? And it would be asked of every single person in that household. The push by the Trump administration to add their question was found to be politically motivated. One of their operatives had developed the question to suppress minority populations from being counted, therefore giving more weight to traditional Republican strongholds throughout the country, and creating an election environment more favorable to Republicans. Has there been a history of census data being abused? Yeah. The 1940 census data was used to help round up Japanese Americans and put them into internment camps during World War II. The Trump administration has already, repeatedly shown they use the immense power of the federal government to pursue their anti-immigrant policies against legal and illegal immigrants. I hope this has helped a bit to understand the census and that citizenship question issue. Thanks for listening.